Is it like 20 minutes? Is that what it is? It's like a nice little like cardio, like get you warmed up, get you started.
Yeah.
Like a good length.
That much resistance on. It's more just
Okay.
like grasping your legs.
That's
Like,
all right.
Good, I think. Alright, so if you're in the gym or if you're online, we're gonna play with some of the stuff that's in the gym today. So the gym has a lot of foam rollers on the shelves over there and behind this wall back here. So they have little shorty ones and then they have longer ones. So what we're gonna do today is we are going to start out with a little bit of gentle foam rolling. We're just gonna kind of start low, down by our ankles. And you'll have to use your arms a little bit. Just kind of hold yourself stable, but we're going to start low, kind of like start relaxing down by the ankles, the Achilles that kind of gets tight there, and you can alternate between like one leg, the other leg, both legs, kind of like what feels good to you. It should be relaxing, it shouldn't be like hurting. And then we're going to move up a little bit to our calf muscles. Now for the calves, you can go, if you want a little more intense, you can go like one leg at a time, and we'll just do a few rolls on this leg. And we'll switch and we'll do a few rolls on the other leg. Take note if you have any like tight spots in your calves or if you find any knots in your calves that you maybe need to work on. And then we're going to work our way up to the hamstrings. You can do both hamstrings at the same time. We sure did. Grab a foam roller. Actually, I have a big one right here if you want to use it. So keep rolling your hamstrings. I'm going to play with some of the stuff that's up here today and stuff that a lot of people just have at home, which is foam rollers and bands.
Using this.
Yes, we're going to use it. So we're doing our hamstrings right now. You can do the full length of your hamstring if that feels comfortable for you, or you can do just like a small section of your hamstring if you find that you have like a little tight spot or a sore spot. You can like turn your toes in or turn your toes out, and then you're going to get different muscles of the hamstrings. Sounds like Lisa found something over here. Hamstring. I know if I turn my feet in, I can definitely feel it on the left side. I have a little tight spot there. And then we're going to go all the way up to the back side. Be gentle. Rolling the glutes back and forth. And when you're rolling the glutes back and forth, you can kind of play with it. You can go onto the side a little bit. You can go right on the center. Switch to the other side here. See what places that you find that need a little attention. Foam rolling is a good way to just kind of bring some blood flow back to those muscles. We're not doing any crazy foam rolling right now for like a particular sore spot. We're just kind of doing all over foam rolling. So whatever you need there. Then we're going to flip over. You might find this one a little bit more awkward, but we're going to do our quads. So kind of onto your elbows, like you're doing a bridge. Keep your tummy pulled in, and you're just rolling back and forth. See if you might find some tight spots in those quads. Maybe it's closer to your knee, maybe it's closer to your hip. It's my full quad. It's your full quad. Oh gosh. On Saturday. Or it's just the whole thing. Yeah. So this might kind of hurt, especially if your quads are sore. So be gentle. Oh gosh. I had that last week. I was like, oh my word. And then from here, this might not be comfortable for everybody, but you can go to the side. You can do the inner leg. It's a little awkward. You won't won't spend too much time here. Lisa says we're crazy. Yeah, you're a really long roller. You don't have, it's a very small movement on the inside. Like I am not rolling like my whole inner thigh right now. And again, maybe you'll find like, oh, you have like a tight spot or a spot that's maybe just not as flexible as the other. So we'll switch sides, get the other side. If you're sore from your bar, you also might find a really tender spot like on the inside of your leg. And then we're going to do one last roll. No, like Lisa's got the good roller for this one. We'll do the upper back. So we're not going to do the lower back because there's just too much going on down there to use a roller down there. But we will do the upper back. So just kind of gently put your hands behind your head for neck support. And you might even get a few little like pops and cracks up there. That's okay. I'm not going super far down my back right now. I'm just going maybe not even to the bottom of my rib cage, just like my shoulder blade area. Just back and forth. Alright, we're going to set your backside down, and what we're going to do here is we're going to reach across. We're just going to alternate side to side. We're just trying to bring back some mobility into that mid-back area. It's not a huge twist. It's more of like a reach. Reach. Nothing too crazy here. And if your roller escapes you, just pull it back in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, woo. Bring your roller in closer. I'm going to show you one sneaky spot that tends to hold a lot of tightness or tension. So be gentle with it if you do happen to have this. So it's kind of right under your armpit here. And you're just going to very gently roll back and forth in that back armpit area. And sometimes you'll find a spot like right here, kind of the armpit, that's like tight because we sit so much and we don't always keep good posture when we sit by our desk. And if you find it, you can even just spend some time on it. You don't even hardly have to move. And then we'll do the other side. And if you practice doing these with the foam roller or do them a little more often, they don't seem quite so awkward. There's no right or wrong way to have your legs right now. Just whatever's comfortable for you. If you ever get like a sports massage and they go into your armpit and they just kind of like dig their thumb in, they're like trying to get after like this trigger point that's back here and it hurts. All right, good job. Let's move into a little core activation here. So we're going to start on our back, down on our mat. We're going to tuck our tailbone under. We're going to keep everything nice and stable in the hip area. And what we're going to do is we're going to let our knee fall to the outside, but nice and controlled. When my knee falls to the outside, it does not mean that the hip raises up on the other side. My core is keeping my hips and my pelvis nice and level down on the mat. Relax your neck. It's all about the core right here, getting that transverse abdominals activated, making it keep our lower body nice and stable. So while this seems super, super simple, it definitely does not seem like it's super challenging. Letting that knee fall out to the side can sometimes drag the rest of us with it, and we don't want it to do that. We want our core to stay active and engaged. Relax, take a deep breath. We're going to go into picking up alternating feet off the ground. Again, you can keep your head down on the ground. You can keep your tailbone tucked under, that lower back rest against the floor, keeping the hip bones nice and stable. If you put your hands maybe on the inside of the hip bones, as you pick up that foot, you can feel even a little bit that transverse activating. Core muscles taking over, and that's what we want to work. You don't want those hip flexors joining in quite too much. Both feet up to a tabletop position, alternating, dropping the foot down to the ground. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you just put that foot out longer. You have a longer lever. Start to feel it in your quads, do a little reset, a little mind-body connection. Try to keep it coming from your abdominals. We're going to do 10 with both feet dropping down to the floor, nice and slow and controlled. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Were you able to keep that lower back down on the ground, keep your core engaged the whole time? 10 is a really good starting point for that one. Let's go for a nice little full body stretch. Arms and legs out long. Take a nice big deep breath. All right, bring those knees back up to tabletop. We're going to bring our hands behind our head. We're going to alternate side to side in a nice slow bicycle crunch. The lower that leg goes down to the floor. The more you're gonna feel it in that core. Trying to keep that belly button to spine. Keeping the hip bones nice and stable. Engaging some of those obliques as we twist to the side. Relax, set your neck and shoulders down. Let your core relax. We're going to do one more to kind of engage those obliques on the side of our waistline. We're going to kind of bring your shoulder blades up off the ground and reach towards your heels while keeping everything nice and stable in your hips. They should not be shifting from side to side. It's just a little crunch between your lower rib cage and your hip bone. Really engaging the side of the waistline. Go ahead and roll over onto your front side. Take a nice big deep breath as you breath up and pull up with a nice stretch to your core. Breathe nice and deep. From there, go ahead and sit back in child's pose for a second. Stay in your child's pose for a while, right? In child's pose, we're going to shift into plank just for a second so that we can pull a knee through into pigeon. Once you're in pigeon, you can kind of pick where you want to go from here. You can stay up on your hands, or you can go down to your elbows, or you can go flat out on the floor. And if you need it, Lisa, if you want, you can even put a grip here, just to kind of help with some of that flexibility. Give that nice stretch off the hip. We're going to shift into plank just for a second so that we can switch sides, pulling the other leg through. Again, pick your version of pigeon. It might be with your hands out, it might be down here on your elbows. Maybe this side's more flexible than the other side. Back up to your hands if you're not already there. We're going to shift into plank for 30 seconds. We're going to do one strong plank. So think core engage, ribs to hip bones so that you're really fully engaging that core. Do this on your hands or on your elbows. Either is fine. Core is engaged, glutes are engaged, everything is working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, sit back into child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to bring it up into a quad head position. So we're just going to be on all fours. We're going to engage that core. We're going to take that heel. We're going to press it up. A little press towards the ceiling. Really trying to use that glute muscle. If you're in the gym here, you can use the mirrors to check your posture. Make sure you're not rotating to the inside, to the outside, or like shifting open as you pulse that heel. You want to keep everything engaged, strong, level. So many things to think of. Alright, switch sides. Set yourself up on the other side, bringing that leg up, keeping that core engaged, working on that glute. Make sure those hips are nice and level down to the floor, so both hip bones are facing the floor. A little pulse towards the ceiling. Alright, switch. We're going to go back to the first leg. This time we're going to add a little, so we're going to kind of bring it in as a little crunch to the middle, and then we're going to bring it up. So the trick here is really slow and controlled so that you're keeping everything nice and stable, and your upper body, you're not letting anything shift as you bring that knee in. Here's 7, 8, 9, I'm going to do 10, so last one, 10. All right, go ahead, reset, shake out your wrists if you need to. We're going to do 10 really good ones on the other side. So just tucking that knee in and then pressing that heel to the ceiling. There's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead, shake out your wrists, sit back in your child's pose for a second if you need to. If it becomes too much to be on your wrists, you can always go down to your elbows. Just make sure you're still keeping your core engaged. We got one more. We got a little bit of a challenge one here. So with your leg out long, it gets a lot harder to focus on your glute. So with the leg out long, let's really focus on our glute as we lift our leg up. We don't want any arching in the back to occur. As we lift the leg, we're keeping everything in the middle section of our body nice and stable. Here's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring that knee in, switch sides, set up on the other side. The core engaged. 1, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead, sit back in your child's pose. All right, we're gonna finish it out with a little section here in bridge. So we're gonna bring our feet somewhat close to our backside so that we can keep our activation in our glutes, not so much in our hamstrings. Kind of try to keep the hamstrings out of it here. We're going to tuck our tailbone under, and we're just going to start with a classic bridge, both feet down on the ground, pressing those hip bones up towards the ceiling, breathing, core is engaged. Five more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold it at the top. Engage the core, engage the glutes, so that you can alternate picking up a leg off the ground. It's going to take a lot of core to keep your pelvis nice and stable while you're doing this. Oh, I'm dying. And 20. Go ahead. Set yourself back down on the floor. We're going to put our feet out just a little bit further, just so that you can feel what it would feel like to have it be more of a hamstring dominant exercise. So if you put your feet out a little bit further, still tucking your tailbone under, and you lift up, what you're going to find is you can't quite squeeze. I mean, you can still squeeze your glutes strong, but you're going to find that you get a lot of hamstring activation the further and further you put your feet out. So even while you're up there, if you just scoot your feet out further, you can really feel that hamstring activation. So this is where we're taking the feet in just a little bit closer. We're trying to turn it into more of a glute exercise rather than a hamstring exercise. All right. Let's go for 10 on each side. This will be our last one. 10 on each side. We're going to have both feet down. What we're going to do is pick one foot up, and we're just going to go up and down, 10 on each side, really focusing on keeping everything nice and stable in the hips. Ready? Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides, plant that other foot on the ground. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, Nice. Go ahead, put one foot over the other, reach through, feel a nice stretch in your glute, similar to pigeon. Sides. Do on the other side. We're going to bring it up to a seated position. Oh, and we're going to finish the way we should have started because I missed one thing at the start. So we're going to put one hand on our belly, one hand on our chest. We're going to just do a few breaths right here. It's not a bad way to finish either. Some nice calm breathing. Hopefully centers us for the rest of the afternoon. Sets our intention for the rest of the day. Calms our nervous system. And you may continue to keep breathing. I'm just going to stop recording. Bye.